opening day for the legislative session, and preparations are in motion at the state capitol.
Lawmakers are expected to tackle everything from the state budget to crime, housing, and the rising cost of living.
Our Reed Fowler is live at the capitol this morning talking with lawmakers about top priorities. Good morning, Reed. What can you tell us?
Morning, Carly and Tanya. All of what you guys mentioned are top priorities here at opening day at the state capitol for the legislative session. And it's been great talking with a bunch of the representatives here that are going to be tackling and talking about the priorities for the people of Hawaii. And I want to welcome in my next guest, my special guest here, Linda Ichiyama, the House Vice Speaker. Linda, thank you so much for joining us this morning and taking some time. A lot has been talked about education, about cost of living, about housing, and I want to specifically talk on housing. From this legislative session in 2026, what's different than the last session that Hawaii families can look forward to and being discussed today?
Housing is always a top issue. It's one of the main drivers for cost of living here in Hawaii, and so many families unfortunately are moving to the mainland because they can't afford to live here. So housing will continue to be a top priority for the House majority. In particular, we're looking at regulatory reform. How do we speed up permitting processes? How do we break down those regulatory barriers so that we can build more units and make sure more families are able to afford to stay here?
Education and healthcare, obviously, especially healthcare with HPH and HMSA joining forces, so to speak, has been a topic of mine through a lot of people in Hawaii. But healthcare costs, specifically education costs as well. How are we looking at providing better solutions for families here in Hawaii on both fronts? Let's start with healthcare.
I think healthcare is always a challenge. It's a challenge nationally. We're very fortunate in Hawaii to have some of the lowest healthcare costs, in part because we have so many people who are covered by insurance. So we want to make sure that as we look through whatever potential partnerships might be proposed, that we continue to have strong regulatory state presence to make sure that we have that broad base of insurance available to cover everyone.
And then with education, not just with the public schools and the DOE private schools, but then also the University of Hawaii at Manoa, how do we attract talent from maybe overseas or from the continental U.S. to come here to Hawaii, not just again for our beautiful beaches and our beautiful weather, a little windy, a little rainy today, but how do we attract that talent, not just the talent that's here to stay here in Hawaii, like you mentioned, we're seeing a lot of families go and move, but a lot of young talent move away for other jobs. How do we retain that young talent here in Hawaii?
One of the other priorities for the Majority Caucus is to create more workforce development opportunities here in Hawaii. Last year, the legislature expanded the Hele Imua program. We want to continue that to offer more internships and career pathways for our local students.
And then what do they look like after this session for you? You hear a lot of rhetoric over results or rhetoric versus results. What do results look like for you guys?
I'm hopeful that we'll be able to serve the people of Hawaii to meet their needs and make sure that we preserve our critical safety net services.
House Vice Speaker, thank you so much. Good luck today.